Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast, your safe spot for C-Drama chatter. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's time to sit back, grab your tea, and let's chat Asian dramas. In today's episode, we have a currently watching episode, and basically this is how my currently watching list is looking like at the end of August 2024. So I'm going to be going through everything that I'm currently watching, everything that I finished up in August, as well as the anime that I'm currently watching and the book series that are based on Asian mythology or have an Asian author that I'm also currently reading. So that's what the episode is about. Just some housekeeping before we get into the podcast. If you like the episode, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen to. That really helps the podcast reach other listeners. And for more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, movie reviews, and more. I would like to thank my patrons, are Purple Dinosaurus, Marta, Souza, Caitlin, Lorna, Cheryl, Julia, Nancy, Grace, Amanda, Jane, Camila, Cindy, Victoria, Tate, Valerie, Catherine, and Julia. So thank you guys so much for being patrons over on Patreon. You know, I will be taking a little break over in September, so patrons are really gonna get to enjoy the content that I'll be putting out, because I'll be putting stuff out over on Patreon, but also they will be getting a lot of sneak peeks for season 3 as well. So even if it is just a free member, I will also be posting a couple of things for free members. Check out Patreon. And finally, if you would like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the description notes. So, July was a tough month. I was just enjoying things. I wasn't loving anything, and to be quite honest, that was a problem. I've talked about it on a couple of places, especially like last week's episode, but as of right now, I've been putting episodes out constantly every single week without fail for 10 months straight. And yes, you can plan ahead and you can pre-record episodes, but that doesn't mean you're still not working on the podcast, because you still are, even if I'm not recording myself, you have to space out and you have to record with guests and you have to arrange everything and you have to, still do stuff on social media and whatnot. Well, you don't have to, but I think it kind of goes with with the ground of having a podcast. And if you would like to sort of grow it to reach other parts of the community, then it kind of comes with that. So that's what I've been doing. And like I've been mentioning a couple of times, I am feeling very burnt out and just very tired, to the point where I was thinking, goodness, I don't even know what to do for the podcast. I'm not that excited. And when that happens, it's usually fine. Like, I can get through it if I'm enjoying dramas and if I'm enjoying what I'm watching. But last month was a double whammy, because I wasn't really enjoying much of anything and I was burned out, which means, like, when it comes to a creative standpoint, it can be lacking. It can be very lacking. So that was my struggle kind of last month. Fortunately, this month I have had some dramas that I am really, really enjoying, actually. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But, my absolutely loving category, which are dramas that I'm actively chasing and I'm like completely obsessed with, that does still remain empty. But my loving category is no longer empty. And there's 3 things on there right now. So that's a huge change from last month. And in general, I feel like I'm watching a lot less, but I'm enjoying more, if that makes sense. So that's the route we're going down as. So Like I said, my absolutely loving category is empty. My loving category, so these are dramas that I am really loving, but not quite obsessed with, but I'm keeping up with new episodes and I am still like chasing new episodes for. But they are dramas that overall I'm really, really enjoying, basically. Not the ones that I'm like completely obsessed with quite yet, but they're ones I'm really loving. So, first up on this list, it probably comes as no surprise to many people because I'm sure a lot of people are watching this, is the Korean drama Love Next Door. This is the drama that stars the Jong couple, so Jong Hae-in and Jung So-min. Now, I have currently watched 3 episodes, and the first 2 episodes were very tropey, very Korean tropey, and I was like, okay, I'm having fun. This is a rom-com, but I really hope there was a slight show, especially for Jong Soo-min's character, Bae So-kyu, where they kind of showed her life in America and how she was struggling. And they only did it in a slight flashback. And I sort of thought to myself, okay, I really, really, really hope they're going to dig into that. And they did. They're starting to dig into those and they're starting to add depth to these characters rather than it being just all superficial. So I really did enjoy the first 2 episodes, but I wanted more from it, if that makes sense. And episode 3 has kind of solidified that for me a lot more. So I'm excited to see where this goes. This is airing on Netflix. It is going to be 16 episodes overall. And yes, I'm very excited that it's Jong Hae-in and Jong So-min. But what I'm really, really excited about is the fact that this writer, yes, a lot of people will know this writer because of Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, and a lot of people will be very excited about this writer because of that. For me, personally, I'm very excited about this writer because she did The Crowned Clown, which is a brilliant saga, and I loved it. The acting, the writing in it was just so ridiculously good. So that makes me very, very excited for this. And if you're living under a rock and you don't know what Love Next Door is about, it's basically about our female lead and our male lead, and they've known each other since they were children. Their mothers are friends, and basically they are both very clever and they kind of have competed against each other since they were kids. They grow up, they kind of went their different paths, and then we meet them again as they are coming. So our female lead kind of had to move to America to pursue her career and whatnot, and she's moving back to South Korea for reasons I'm not going to go too much into depth, but it's them kind of like connecting and meeting up again as adults, and they're still living next to each other, which is adorable, because they're living with their parents and their parents live next to each other. And I think and hope that we're going to go into a lot more depth about the relationships, and not just the kids. Not, I say kids, but they're not kids. Not just like our main pairings, but I really hope that they dig a bit further into the parents' relationships yet, because I think that could be quite interesting to add depth to the story. So we'll see where it all kind of goes and webs. But as of right now, I'm really enjoying it. I think the comedic timing can be a little hit or miss. That's my, there's been a lot of commentary about this online, actually. A lot of people are loving it, but there is people who are saying that, Jong Hae-in hasn't quite mastered the lead role like in a romantic comedy, which I can sort of get behind. And a lot of people, there's been people saying that Jong Soo-min has been almost like, in the first 2 episodes specifically, that hers is like overacting a bit and his is underacting a bit. I think her overacting, it matches her character in the sense that, to those comments, I would say her character tends to overact in life to hide behind, behind that, if that makes sense. So I think we will become more aware of it, and I think we will see more of it, I believe. So I really, really do hope that we're going to see more of them and more just developing characters. I will definitely be sticking around. This has passed, my check for the first couple of episodes, so I will definitely be sticking around and watching more. I want to see where the story goes. I want to see how these two kind of connect back to each other, and how we do the leap from friends to lovers. So I'm very excited about this one. So, next up on my currently watching loving category is a drama that I believe has my whole heart right now. It is a Japanese drama, and it pulls at your emotions in the only way that Japanese dramas can. And the English title is The Beginning of the Sea. The Japanese title is Umi no Hijamaro. And basically, the story follows our male lead, who is played by the wonderful Meguru Ren, who I have seen him in a lot of things. He was in the movie adaptation of my happy marriage. Is it my happy marriage? Oh, see, I always get confused because the anime is my happy marriage. The movie is As Long as We Both Shall Live. So he's the male lead from that, but he's also the male lead in the very popular Japanese drama Silent, which I really, really liked. He was also in Trillion Game, which I liked watching as well. So I've seen him in a couple of things. So he is our male lead, and he had a girlfriend back in college, and they were going to university, and something happens, and basically she gets pregnant. Now, when she gets pregnant, she gets pregnant, and she tells him that she wants an abortion. She doesn't want to have the child. So he has always thought that she has never had the child. And then we go from that situation we fast forward, I believe, 8 years, and his ex-girlfriend dies, and he goes to the funeral, and he meets this little girl. Turns out that this little girl is his child, and the ex-girlfriend decided to keep the child, the baby. And she didn't want to impose on him because it was her choice, and she had already said that she was going to have an abortion. And I think there's a lot more reasoning behind it. There's a lot more. She wanted to do it by herself, and she didn't want to be, she took the view of, I made this decision and I'm going to follow through with it. So that's kind of the situation. We then kind of see him in present time, and he doesn't know whether he wants to be a father to this little girl or not. And he also has a girlfriend, so it's the girlfriend dealing with all the situation as well. It is beautiful. When I tell you guys, this story has my whole heart. I truly mean it. This little girl is the cutest bean ever. So the little girl who plays, so it's Nagumo Umi, and Umi means sea. So her mother was very much a lover of the sea. So that's why. And this little girl is called Izutani Rana. This little girl is only she is only 7 years old. 7 years old, and I am mind blown because she just has my whole heart. She's adorable. The way she manages to act on screen, it's like, I don't understand how this little girl is only 7 years old. It is beyond me how good she's doing. I am truly loving her, and it's just really a beautiful story, because then obviously, so Umi is being taken care by her mother's grandparents, and it's the grandparents' story of trying to figure out what's best for her and what's best for just everybody involved in the situation, they can kind of see that this was not, you know, not the wisest of choices by the mother. The mother could have like told him, but when she tried to tell him, she kind of walked back in and he had already had a new girlfriend and a new life, and she felt like she couldn't overstep on that. So that's like the situation as well. I think a lot of people have commented that they don't understand, the Umi's mother, and they don't understand it. And also, it's harder to understand because obviously she got very sick, and that's why she passes away. And, basically it's very hard for you to blame somebody who's dead in this situation. And I think that they go into that in a very lot of detail. Meguru Ren is beautiful in this role. I loved him in Silent, but I feel like I love him even more in this one. There's scenes that are just truly so beautiful to watch. Like there's this one specific scene. So the little girl gets her grandmother to do her hair all the time, and basically she walks, so Meguru Ren's character goes and lives with them for a little bit just to try and connect more and spend more time with her and whatnot. And she kind of like runs into the room and asks for her hair to be done, for her grandmother to come and do her hair. And Meguru Ren, so her father, kind of says, "It's okay, I can do it." And he's been practicing, like his girlfriend has been teaching him how to do like braids. And it's a very, very sweet moment where he kind of tries to do the braids, but then she actually says, "Oh, I don't want, just plain braids. I want French braids." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know how to do those." And it's very adorable. It's very sweet. The moments between Meguru Ren and, the Meguru Ren and Izutani Rana, so the little girl, are just precious. I don't know what it is about this, guys, and I can understand some people going into this and not necessarily enjoying it because, the mother did make choices, and a lot of people will not agree with her choices, and a lot of viewers won't even recognize why she did what she did, and you won't necessarily get answers because obviously she's gone. You can't just simply ask her. But even saying that, I just love it. I love the precious relationships and how it's showing that it really does take a village to help raise a child, and how this child is just the center of all of these characters' worlds, and how she, even though she doesn't start as the center of Meguru Ren's world, or, her father's world or her father's girlfriend's world, she slowly becomes that. And I adore it. As you can hear from my excitement, this is probably my favorite thing that I'm currently watching. I sat down and I kid you not, I binged 7 episodes in one sitting, and I hadn't done that in a hot minute, and I just loved it. I truly did. So this is unfortunate news. This is airing out there, and by out there, guys, I mean this is being subbed by I'm just trying to remember. Goodness. 1 second. I am just going to double check. So it's being subbed by Blitz Fan Subs, and that's where I'm watching it. When it comes to Japanese dramas, it's quite hard sometimes to find them, but the fan subbers are brilliant when it comes to J dramas. And if you can go direct to their sites, I would always highly recommend using the fan subs over, other things like Kiskie, KH, and Drama Call and stuff like that, because those just kind of steal from the fan subbers, and they put a lot of work into it. So when it comes to this sort of stuff, I always highly recommend that you try to find a official subber that is doing it, and go down that route, because with J dramas it's really, really hard to find them officially subbed on places like Viki and Netflix. They're becoming easier to find, but they're still, out of all the Asian dramas that I watch, the hardest one. But if you want to try this one, honestly, I highly recommend it. It's only going to be 12 episodes and they're about 50 minutes per episode. Like I said, I've watched 7 episodes and they are up to episode 8. I believe they're airing an episode a week, which is hard going. So the only reason why I'm not binging this the rest of the way is because of that, because I just love it. I just sit. And also, last little thing that I'll say for this drama, it is shot so ridiculously beautiful. You have lots of like sea imagery and them at the sea, and it is shot very beautifully. So I love this. I truly do. So that's Umi no Hijamari, or also known as The Beginning of the Sea. I honestly, guys, I love this drama so far. It's hitting me on all the feels. So next up on my loving category is I don't know what to call this, guys, because it's not necessarily a TV show. What does MDL class it as? MDL classes it as, it doesn't say. Come on, MDL, help a girl out. Adventure documentary. So basically, this is the Are You Sure series show. I don't know, guys. And it's basically the BTS, Jimin and Jungkook, and they basically go traveling around places, and V kind of joins them for episode 3 and 4, and I am living for it. I adore these type of things. Like, I loved In the Soup and all of those type of content because it's so wholesome. I don't know what it is. I love that type of watching experience. So this is the type of thing that I come in, I watch a little bit and I chill and then I go. And that's why I love these type of things. So this one is literally the 2 of them and they go. It's an 8-part series that was filmed in 2023. And basically they go to different locations. So New York State, US in the USA, Jeju Island, and Sapporo in Japan. So they basically go to these and they kind of do fun things together and they spend time together and they have really nice conversations as well. So that's my little one that I'm watching and really enjoying. And it's one that, like I said, I go in, I watch a little bit, I feel comforted, and then I go back out. So that's the Korean. It's not a variety docu-series. Are You Sure? So next up, and I can't really say much more about that one because that's literally all it is. And then that's it for my loving category. But like I said, I'm already so happy by the fact that I'm really, really enjoying dramas again. Funnily enough, no Chinese dramas up on that list. I mean, I need China to get into gear. Although saying this, guys, I was looking at a couple of posts for rumored dates for September, and there's like 6 dramas that I want to watch. Luckily, I'm like on break from the podcast, but the thing is, I'm on break from the podcast, but I'll probably be on break for 2 of the weeks in total, and then all the rest of the time I'll be recording and prepping season 3. So I will still be quite busy towards the end of September. Now, the rumor that I did hear, this is a complete aside, we're just going to go off rails, but this is a complete aside, is that the story of Pearl Girl is coming in October. Now, if you don't know, that's the Zhao Lushi and Liu Yuning drama that I am so ridiculously looking forward to, because the promo that has been put out for this, Zhao Lushi looks like she's playing kind of like a servant girl that has to claw her way out and into, the top. And I cannot wait to watch this. I am so freaking excited for this drama. So rumor mill is saying October, which hopefully is great. I actually am going on holiday in October, so I'm very, very excited. I'm going back home for the first time in almost a year, so I cannot wait for that to happen as well. So I'm hoping it'll come at a good time. But back onto the episode. So, my enjoying category, there's 2 dramas on there, and these are the ones that I'm enjoying and casually watching, and I can be behind on episodes in case they are in on air dramas. So, the first one up on there is Strange Tales of Jiang Chang. Now, this is a drama that was recorded all the way back in 2021, I believe, but it's now just only aired. And basically, the MDL description reads, in the early years of the Republic of China, the situation in Jiangsu in the southwest region was chaotic, which led to frequent spies. Qin Hu Le, who returned from studying abroad, met Detective Captain Song He, and with the help of the quirky female forensic doctor Fan Xiaofan, the 3 of them worked together to solve 8 bizarre murder cases and bring justice to the world. So, it's kind of like, 3 people working together, crime mystery thriller. There's a little bit of horror in there. I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't really watched a lot of episodes. I believe I've watched 3 or 4 episodes. The good thing about this, it's saying it's 52 episodes, but the episodes are only 20 minutes a piece. Some of them are only about 15, 16 minutes. So this is a really, really nice one to watch a couple of episodes and then go do something else, if that makes sense. Because you can binge quite a lot of them in, quick succession. So this is airing on WeTV for Europe and Tencent for the States. And it stars Xie Zi Guang as one of the male leads. And he's been in things like Dashing Youth, The Spiral, I can never say this. The Spy Realm, Got a Crush on You, Everybody in the House. So, and he was in Oh My Emperor as well. So he's not been in a lot of things. But then we also have Caesar Wu, who plays Song He, and he's been in a heck of a lot more things. So he's been in Blossoms in Adversity, My Dearest Friends, Sisterhood, Shining for One Thing is probably a popular one that he was in, General's Lady, and, Meteor Garden as well. So he's been in quite a few things as well. I do enjoy him. He hasn't done, he's done a few main lead roles, but he hasn't, captivated me yet. And then for the third person as the main role in this is played by Wang Ziyi, and she plays Fan Xiaofan, and she's been in things like Love Me, Love My Voice as a support, New Life Begins, but she's been in very, very minor support roles. This will be her first main role, but again, this was recorded way, way back. So, she doesn't seem to have quite broken into the industry yet. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's good so far. The cases are interesting, but again, I have not gotten too far into this yet. If you like crime and thriller, I reckon you will enjoy this. So that is the drama Strange Tales of Jiang Cheng. Again, it's airing on WeTV or Tencent, depending on, where you live. So next up is a classic Korean drama that I'm watching for reasons. And by reasons is I will be doing a podcast episode on it. Not necessarily for my podcast though. So keep an eye out for that. And that is the classic, and I believe it's 2014. Yeah, the 2014 Korean drama, It's Okay, That's Love. Now, this is a very beloved Korean drama. It's been on my to watch list for ages, and I kept saying, I'll get to it at some point, and then it popped up in a conversation, and I was like, do you know what, I'll watch it, I'll review this with you. So this is what's happening. And so it's a 16 episode drama. It aired all the way back in July 2014, and it is a drama that is quite touching, actually. On the surface, it seems like it's going to be funnier than it is, but it's actually a little bit deeper than that. I've actually binged the first 8 episodes of sorts. I'm already halfway through, and I'll be finishing in the next week or so. And this drama is available in a bunch of places. It's available on Disney, WeTV, iQIYI, Netflix, Viki, Cocoa. So available in a bunch of places. Very, very readily available. So this stars Seo Yoon Song, who plays Jang Jae-yul, and you would have seen him in Moving. He plays one of the main roles in Moving. He was in Dear My Friends. He was in That Winter the Wind Blows. So he's been in a couple of things. And then we obviously have Gong Hae Jin, and she plays Ji Hae So. And this woman has been in everything and anything. She is very much a veteran actress at this point. So she's been in The Camellia Blooms, Jealousy Incarnate, The Producers, Master's Son, Flower Boy Ramen Shop. She has been in a lot of things. The Greatest Love, Pasta. So that is this actress. I haven't actually watched her in a lot of things, I don't believe. I watched her in The Master's Son, and I started with The Camellia Blooms, but it just did not work out for me, so I ended up dropping that one. There you go. There's my confession of the day. Don't come for me, guys, please. So that is our female lead. Now, what is this drama about? If you haven't heard about it, this is very much dubbed as one of those classic K-dramas, and the MDL description reads, despite being a bit of a prickly pear, Jang Jae-yul has become famous for authoring mystery novels and for hosting a popular radio show. While sitting on a talk show panel with psychiatrist Ji Hae So, it becomes clear to all that the two just rubbed each other the wrong way. The unthinkable happens when Jae-yul's girlfriend plagiarizes his work, forcing him to lie low until the media storm blows over. Only then he can prove his innocence. Jae-yul moves into a house he owns but rents out. One of the current tenants is none other than Hae So, unwittingly making them housemates. Add to the mix Ju Dong-min, Hae So's senior colleague and fellow psychiatrist, and Park So-kwang, a young man with Tourette's syndrome. As personalities clash, Jae-yul and Hae So help each other to heal from their deeply rooted emotional scars. Now, what I truly enjoy about this drama is the fact that everybody is damaged. You don't have like a damaged male lead that the female lead comes in and fixes, or vice versa. No. Everybody is damaged. And I can appreciate that. I can get behind that. I love the found family that they kind of have going in the house. I love the fact that we get forced cohabitation. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's, a drama that a lot of people can get behind. It's not very trope. There is a couple of tropes, but even so, for it being a 2014 drama, it almost, as of right now, stands the test of time for me. There's only been a couple of niggly bits that I've picked up on that I didn't necessarily like, but overall, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to finish it up and review it. So I actually just realized that I missed out one of the dramas, and I've got another one on my currently watching list on the enjoying category, and that is the drama Are You the One? Now, this is a 40 episode drama. It's airing over on Tencent, but it's in a bunch of places. I'm watching it on WeTV, but it's also on Viki. I wasn't really sure of this. So the first half of this, and by the first half, I mean pretty much like the first 15 episodes. So this is 40 episodes altogether. And the first 15 episodes is almost very sugary sweet in a sense. Our main couple is having a very nice little time, but it is all based on a lie. And that's why I wasn't enjoying it as much. So the MDL description reads, the clever and decisive Liu Miantang, as the first lord of Yangshan, led the people of Yangshan to punish the wicked, promote goodness, and uphold justice. However, she suffered serious injuries under the attack of various evil forces and was rescued by Tu Xingzhu, the prince of Huayang. When Liu Miantang woke up, she had no memory of Yangshan, mistaking Tu Xingzhu for her husband. If their identities were finally exposed, could they face all that honesty while enduring hardships? Basically, they're on opposing sides. I think she belongs to like a group of bandits almost, and he's kind of like part of the royal family. and he is after her. He has actually tried to kill her once, and basically he rescues her not knowing who it is, and then figures out who it is, and then she mistakes him for husband because she has no memories. So the first like 15 episodes, it's all based on that lie, and you're kind of watching through that lens, and it was very sweet. It was very funny at times, and I really wanted that switch to happen fairly quickly, where we were going to get, the her getting her memories back, and then her kind of making him work for it in essence, and making sure that he is making up for that lie. So that is happening now from episode sort of 17, 18 onwards, and the angst has kicked up, and I'm enjoying it a lot more after that specific period. This stars Zhang Wanyi, who a lot of people probably know him very well from Lost You Forever. That's probably his biggest role to date. But he's also been in things like I Know I Love You, Fantastic Doctors, The Bond, Awakening Age. So he's been in a couple of things. And then our female lead is Wang Chu Ran, who apart from like a small role in Joy of Life season 2, I haven't actually seen her in a lot of things, but she's been in Love Has a Fireworks of My Heart, The Longest Promise, Royal Feast. So she's also been in a lot of things. So like I said, I feel like this one was a little slow to start. Maybe because I was craving angst and, that sort of type of drama, and that's not exactly what I was getting. But now that I'm getting it, it's working a lot better. There's already been a couple of scenes that I was really, really happy to watch. So I'm excited to see where this one goes from now on. So my next category would be my meh category, but that's also empty. I'm not really watching anything that I'm not that unsure about. So that's empty. And then we have the too early to tell. So this will give you guys a little clue to what's coming in season 3. So not the first drama, but the second drama that is on this list currently. So the first one up is Go East. Now this is an iQIYI production, and that's where it's airing. It is the main reason that I went into this. It's a Tan Jianqi drama. So I really love Tan Jianqi. I feel like he needs more recognition, and I hope it's coming his way. Everybody would probably know him from as Xiao. Oh my goodness, is it Xiao Lu Xiang Lu from Lost You Forever season 1 and season 2, but he has been in a couple of other things. So he's been in Under the Skin, and he's been in Are You Safe, Strength to Fly, Everybody in the House, Court Lady, the list goes on. I really, really, really enjoy him as an actor, even more so as a singer. Like, this man is very, very talented. So that's the male lead. And then for female lead, we have Zhou Yiran, and she's been in quite a lot of things, but actually, I don't think I've watched that. Oh, yes, I have. What a dummy. Oh my goodness, I have. I've recently watched her both in 2 dramas this year, Regeneration, where she plays a main lead, and To the Wonder, where she also plays a main lead. So I actually really like her. How did I not remember this was, oh my goodness. She was also in Nobody Knows and When You Be Me, Song of Life, Our Ordinary Days. She has been in quite a lot of things. So that's Zhou Yiran. So that's the 2, cast. There's also Adi Khan, who plays Yu Chi-hua as a main role, and Du Chun, who plays Wang Kun Wu. So that's like your main cast. This is going to be a 37 episode drama. It is dubbed as a historical comedy romance. It does lean very much into the comedy, at least for the first couple of episodes. Now, the MDL description reads, the story of 4 determined individuals, Yan Mu, Ashu, Wang Kun Wu, and Wu Chi-hua, who, driven by ideals, bravely embark on a journey for their nation and justice. During the peaceful years of the Daming dynasty, Yan Mu, a commoner from Changla City, stands at the city gates, is issuing issuing permits to foreign visitors using the Four-Square Pavilion seal. Unexpectedly, he encounters Ashu, a refugee from Yanle Kingdom, trying to sneak into the city, which leads to an altercation. This results in the newly arrived border general Wang Kunwu being punished by overseeing duties at the Four-Square Pavilion. As a consequence, Yan Mu is inadvertently pulled into the affairs of the Four-Square Pavilion's Western office, overseen by Yu De Shui. He becomes a minor official handling various international affairs. Through a series of serendipitous events, Ashu becomes Yanamu's little maidservant. Wan Kuwu becomes his superior, and the formidable Yu Qihua, a noble woman with power, joins the mix. Mocked as a useless member of the Western office, Yanamu matures as he navigates through challenging diplomatic matters. Now, why this is in my too early to tell? First of all, I've only watched 4 episodes, even though there's already 10 episodes out right now at the time of recording this. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of moving pieces, there's a lot of setup in the first couple of episodes, and I'm not going to lie, I am the kind of person who prefers to jump right into the story, and this one is definitely not that. It is a little, I knew it was going to be very comedic, but it is a little bit more reliant on the comedy than I was expecting. Now, I have heard from people that this does get better after episode 4 and 5, when the characters sort of really start to connect. Now, I feel like this is going to lead into a very nice found family, so I will definitely keep watching it, but I'm not sure this is one that I will watch till the end, at least right now. I just don't know quite yet, but I am not so unlike it, I don't dislike it that much that I'm just saying I'll drop it right now. That's not the case at all. It's just that I'm not that invested quite yet, but I feel like I could get there. So we shall see. So obviously I don't think I will update because I am away for September, but I will either do a little quick story on Instagram, or I will probably do an update over on Patreon. Like I said, I will be posting stuff on Patreon throughout September, so I might do an update on what I'm watching and what I've dropped and whatnot on there instead. So that's Go East. And then this is the clue, guys, for season 3, because there's one thing that Tea and Soju has not really done. It's done it once in season 2, and we've never quite done it again. And that is the fact that I love Chinese dramas, but I have not watched a lot of the classic Chinese dramas, the big dramas. One of them being Nirvana in Fire, which obviously I watched for season 2 and reviewed it with Sarah from K-Drama This. So that kind of got me thinking. After doing that one episode, it got me thinking for season 3. And, things are going to be happening for season 3. And one of those things, you might get a clue from the next drama. So on my too early to tell is the very classic The Story of Ming Lan. Now, this is a historical Chinese drama. It is a 2018 drama, and it is 78 episodes long, guys. It is a long drama, but it has been on my to watch list for a really long time. I have literally just scratched the surface because I have watched episode 1, and that is it. And this drama is going to be slow, and it's going to be 78 episodes. It's going to take its time. So I have, like I said, barely scratched the surface. I don't have any opinions on it yet. Now, if you don't know what The Story of Ming Lan is, the MDL description says, set in the northern Song dynasty. The story follows Shang Ming Lan, an unfavored concubine-born 6th daughter of an official. After losing her mother at a young age, Ming Lan is raised by her paternal grandmother. Growing up, she learns to hide her true genius self and use crafty and cunning methods in order to survive the tough conditions where family members are plotting against each other and where no actual familial love exists. She She then meets Gu Ting Yi, the second son of a rich marquis household, who is supposed to inherit wealth from both the parents and a noble title. Unlike Minglan, Gu Ting Yi is straightforward with his actions and never hides his true self, causing him to fall victim to all the planning and plotting against him, where he ends up losing everything. Minglan and Ting Yi join forces through cunning schemes and daring endeavors. They both rise in position and work to obtain justice from those that have wronged them. So that's the setup. I have heard this described as one of the best female characters that they have seen. She's very well written. So a lot of people have enjoyed that. This has an 8.8 over on MDL. So that's a fairly high score. Even saying that it is a 78 episode, this is Zhao Li Ying plays Minglan, and you would have seen her in The Legend of Shan Li and, so many others. I don't know. She's been in the game for quite a while. So she was in Wild Bloom, Who is Murderer, Legend of Faye, Princess Agents. So she's been around for a while, and she's fairly popular. And then the male lead for this is Fang Xiao Fang, and he has been in dramas such as Liberation of Shanghai, Shining Just for You, The Imperial Age, Wisher, Faith Makes Great. So he's also been around and acting since all the way back in 2004. So he's been around for a hot minute. So that's the, main cast, so to speak. And like I said, I can't really mention much because, again, I have only barely scratched the surface. And also, if you're in Europe, this has become the hardest drama to find ever. I am infuriating. I was watching this on Viki. I started episode 1 on Viki. I went back a couple of days later and it was gone. Viki took it off from Europe, so it's not available in Viki anymore. It's not available on WeTV. It's not available on iQIYI. The only place that I have found it is on YouTube, so that's where I'm watching it. I've had to cave and subscribe to YouTube Premium for a little bit because I cannot be dealing with those ads while I'm binging these episodes. So I'm going to have to watch, quickly so I can unsubscribe from premium. So that's where we're at right now with that drama. And actually, I'm very, very intrigued to find out. I'm just going to go on Douban. Do I not have the link here? I thought I did. I'm just going to go on Douban. I'm really intrigued to see what Minglan has scored on Douban because I don't actually know, but I do feel like this was fairly popular overall. And it's one of those roles that the actors are both very much known for. So let me just look it up, see if I can find it. I'm guessing it's this one. I'm just bringing it up now. It is rated a 7.4 on Douban. So that's not bad, I don't think. Actually, I just realized I was on the wrong page. Typical. It is a 7.9 over on Douban. So that is actually fairly good for, a drama on Douban. So again, I'm just excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to be watching something that's been on my list for a really, really long time. So then we have the on hold list, which hasn't seen any changes from last month, apart from actually Moving is out of the on hold list and finished. So, but we'll get into that in just a second. But apart from that, the only one that I've added is Meet You at the Blossom. Reason being is there might be an episode for this drama coming, and I would rather watch it closer to the recording time. So that's why I've put it on hold, just so that it'll be fresher in my mind. So dramas that I dropped this month. I dropped Go Beach Volleyball Girls. This drama started off quite good, and I thought I was going to get a really nice found family and, women fighting, not fighting amongst themselves, but fighting to become part of this team and the underdog story. it kind of diverged from that and it started going into ways that I necessarily wasn't enjoying anymore. So I said goodbye. Then I dropped First Marriage. Guys, I feel like this was the quickest drop I have ever done in my life. I literally watched 5 minutes and I was like, can't do it. I cannot do it. The acting is terrible. And it's not even like one of those where it's so bad it's good. It's just it's so bad it's bad. Like I can't. So I let it go very, very quickly. The next one pains me. This pains me to say this, but I dropped Follow Your Heart. That's the Lu Yun-chi Song Yi drama. I get it. A lot of people enjoyed it, but I just was not connecting with it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my frame of mind that I was in or what it was. But again, I'm pained over this one. Next one is As Husband, As Wife. So this one I started and I watched about 4 or 5 episodes and I was enjoying it at first. I was thinking, oh, this season is going to be an older couple relationship. But then all the other things started coming in, the parents and whatnot. And I was like, I am just not in the mood for it. And I can just see this being a very long-winded drama that I don't necessarily want to watch. So I ended up dropping it. And actually, it's got 7.1 on the, MDL, which can mean absolutely nothing at the end of the day. But and then the last one that I dropped is one that I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, why? But I did it anyways. And that's the Chinese drama Dashing Youth. I just felt like the characters were going round in circles. They felt very shallow. They didn't feel like they were developing enough for me. And I was a little bit bored, if I'm being honest. So I let that go. Now, I do question, do I want to watch The Blood of Youth? Which is kind of like the sequel, supposedly. But a lot of people have said that The Blood of Youth is much better than Dashing Youth. So I may have to try and pick it up at some point. So that's the dramas that I dropped this month. Now, next up is like the looking forward to starting category. So on this list, we have the Korean drama Queen Woo. I cannot wait to watch this. Like, I am just so freaking excited for this. It is going to be 8 episodes. I think it's been confirmed that it's going to air Netflix. I don't know, actually, because where to watch, it's not saying where to watch. So hopefully it's going to be picked up somewhere. But this is going to have Ji Chang-woo. It's going to have Lee So-hyuk. Like, I just need this drama. It looks so good. The promo for it looks ridiculously good. It's meant to start on the 28th. So by the time this episode comes out, it would have already started airing. But that's one that I'm very, very much looking forward to. It's a historical, it's a sageuk, so I'm very excited for it. The next one up is Pachinko Season 2. I mean, it needs no introduction. It absolutely needs no introduction. Now, the reason why I haven't started this, I believe they're doing an episode a week, and this is only airing on Apple TV or whatever it's called, and I don't have that subscription, so I would either have to go off-grid or I would have to wait for it to be complete, subscribe, watch it, and then like unsubscribe, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, but I want to see what they've done with season 2. The next 3 are all rumored. So there is no confirmed dates, but these 3 are rumored for September, and they're all Chinese dramas. So there's never, any confirmed dates. But that's why, that reminds me, that's why Pachinko Season 2 is on the looking forward to start, because I just haven't quite decided whether I want to wait or whether I want to go off grid to watch it. Because I know it's already aired, whereas Queen Woo will air on the 28th in 2 days. So the next 3, like I said, Chinese dramas. There's no airing dates for them yet, but they are very heavily rumored for September. So the first one is Kill Me, Love Me. Now, this one was not that much on my radar, but after watching the double, it's definitely on my radar for the reason that the female lead for this is Woo Jin Yan, who is the female lead from The Double, and I absolutely adored her. So sign me up anytime. I will go and watch it. But then the promo kind of started coming out, and I was like, okay, sign me up even more because it looks really, really, really good. So the story reads, what can a person do for survival? Others may know, but Mei Lin is willing to sacrifice everything, including her body and dignity. She yearns for life to bloom recklessly like spring flowers in February, even if it's brief. However, in reality, she lives like a toad in the mud, hiding away ugly and dirty. All she knows is that with life, other things can be discussed. If even life is gone, what else is there to talk about? Yet she never expected that in the end, she would fall into the hands of Murong Jin, and that bastard, the man who once treated her as a plaything to please another woman and was harshly repaid by her. That man who is narrow-minded and holds grudges turned out to be her final downfall. So this is going to be very much a hate angst drama, and I sign me up on the dotted line because I'm very excited. The promo, like I said, the promo for this looks really good. The posters and everything look quite good. It's going to be 32 episodes. It's going to be a Yoku production. So the male lead for this is Liu Shi Yi, who you would have seen in things like In Blossom, A Moment Forever, Destined, A League of Noblemen, The Blood of Youth. So he's been in quite a lot of things. So I'm very, very excited about this drama. I think it has potential. I'm not going to say it's going to be good. I'm just saying it has potential at this point. The screenwriter is Wen Yan, and they have done, they did Back from the Brink, which I really liked actually. So that's exciting too. So that's the first one. Again, no date, but it is very heavily rumored for September, so hopefully we'll see it. The next one is Love of Nirvana. Now this one is going to be like a merchant family kind of rising from the, from being humiliated, that kind of thing. And that is going to be 40 episodes. It is a Tencent production, and it is starring Ren Jialan and Landy Lee. So that is, the dramas. There's not a lot about this one, but I feel like it could be good. This is probably one of those that I want to check out, but I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. So it'll be interesting to see. I feel like this is going to be a very political heavy drama. So we shall see where it goes, but it's again rumored for September. And then there's one on here, and guys, when I tell you, I am really not sure about this drama. So this is the Chinese drama Fangs of Fortune. It is a iQIYI production. And when I tell you guys, this feels like my journey to you 2.0. This feels like my journey to you 2.0. Like the look of it, the feel of it, a lot of the cast as well. Now, I was already like ready for this drama. I so wanted to watch it. It looks so good. The styling looks so good. Now, and then they give me a cast of Neo who I love him. I love him. But then they stick Chen Duling in as the female lead, and I'm like, I really dislike this actress in all her glory. Not only I am not a fan of her acting, but I don't like the problematic of her and the problems that come with her. Especially since Till the End of the Moon. So and then this also has Tian Jiaryu, who was in My Journey to You. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So this is actually rumored for September. I feel like this could be a good drama. It's only 26 episodes. This is going to come down to whether I try the first episodes and I can endure Chanduling, or I just say sod it and I'm gonna watch edits of everything else except Chanduling in this drama. So do you know what? I really wish there's some platforms that have the option that you can like skip all the scenes of a certain actor. I wish this drama could have that. Would I understand this story? Maybe not, but I would be much happier clicking and watching it that way. But yeah, so I'm excited about this one, but I'm also not excited about this one. I have very complicated feelings towards it, and I just don't know whether I'm going to be able to watch it with her as the female lead. This has been a problematic thing that she seems to be everywhere, and it's like dramas that I really want to watch. And I'm like, why? Why does she keep getting cast with people that I enjoy watching? So we shall see. I might check it out just because I really like the rest of the cast and I like the look of it, and it's Aichi. So I don't know. I don't know. It's literally gonna come down to whether I can endure FOMO or not. So we shall see. So that's all the dramas out of the way. That is everything out of the way. And then, so for anime, I'm just watching one anime right now, and that is Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World. Now, I had no idea what this was. I just kind of randomly clicked play, and it's basically two people, male lead and female lead, are on opposing sides. And they basically find out that they have a lot in common and that they actually like each other. So it's kind of like enemies to lovers, because they are supposed to be, hateful of each other, but yet they really, really like each other. So that's what's happening right now. With that one, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm watching it over on Crunchyroll, and that's the only one that I am actively watching. I kind of put my animes a little bit to the back burner because I wasn't feeling like, for anime, I kind of watch a bit and then I don't want to watch anymore, and then I'll come back to it later. So that's what it is. So that's for anime, the only thing that's on there. And then my currently reading, I have two actually that I'm reading that are based in, Asian culture, or are written by Asian authors. The first one is one that I just have to talk about because I feel like quite a few of my listeners may want to check it out. Now, guys, this comes with the caveat that I'm only like 10 chapters in, so if it gets really bad, don't come for me if you do choose to check it out. So it's called These Violent Delights. It is written by Chloe Gong, and when I tell you, the easiest way to explain this is it's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet set against the 1920s, 1930s Shanghai, and they are from opposite rival gangs in Shanghai. So that's like the setting of this. It's, the best way to describe it. Goodreads, the blurb reads on Goodreads says, the year is 1926 and Shanghai hums to the tune of debauchery. A blood feud between two gangs runs the streets red, leaving the city helpless in the grip of chaos. At the heart of it all, a 18-year-old Juliet Kai, a former flapper who has returned to assume her role as the proud heir of the Scarlet Gang, a network of criminals far above the law. Their only rivals in power are the White Flowers, who have fought the Scarlets for generations, and behind every move is their heir, Roma Montagov, Juliet's first love and first betrayal. So that is a story. Something happens and there's a murder, and it involves both of their gangs, and they kind of have to work together. So that is, what I'm would very quickly, tell it as. It's very much a Romeo and Juliet retelling set against 1920s, 1930s Shanghai. So that is, that I'm enjoying it so far. it's fairly slow going, but again, I'm enjoying it. And then the next one that I'm reading is called The God and the Gumiho. This is written by Sophie Kim, and the blurb kind of reads, Kim Honey has retired from a life of devouring souls. She is, simply put, cheerful. Once known as the infamous Scarlet Fox, she now spends her days working in a coffee shop and annoying a particularly irritating, if unfairly handsome, trickster god as often as she can. That god is Sekgwa, the Fallen. Exiled from the heavenly kingdom of Okwang, he now begrudgingly resides in the mortal realm, working towards his redemption and suffering through his interactions with the particularly infuriating, if sneakily charming, Gumiho barista at his favorite cafe. Basically, he's been exiled from, the land of the gods. He's now has to solve crimes and capture criminals, and he has to capture a certain amount of criminals to be allowed back into the land of the gods. They basically have to work together. They are put to work together to solve a case. Now, I will say, my only thing about this is that sometimes, if you are very unfamiliar with any kind of like Korean mythology, this can feel a little bit heavy-handed because there's no glossary. At least the book that I have the hardback for this, and there is no glossary or anything. And sometimes the types of mythical characters are not explained in the book as you're reading, so you're kind of left with no sort of background. When that happens, I've had to Google it so I can sort of see what they mean. They kind of sometimes give brief explanations, but that would be my only thing, is that if you're completely new to Korean fantasy and Korean mythology, this might be a little bit hard to get into if you don't know what any of the gods and characters and whatnot are. So that's my only thing about that one, but overall I'm enjoying it. I'm about 150 pages into it, so I am very much enjoying it. So that is the two books that I currently have, and the one that I finished is called Nine-Tailed. It is by JC Lee, and I really enjoyed this one. I actually did the audiobook for this one, and overall it's really good. It's about this it's like Korean folklore mixed in with American lore as well, because it's based in America for quite a bit of the first book. So it's very, very interesting. It's about Nine-Tailed Fox, and she believes to be the only nine-tailed fox there is, and she always has to be on the run because she believes she is being pursued for a crime. And this guy sort of comes back into her life to try and seek help from her because his brother was killed, and then a lot more happens, but that's kind of the basis of the story. I really enjoyed it overall. I thought it was pretty good. It is book one, and I feel like it ends on enough of a clear slate that I'm not too badly wounded. It's not like a major cliffhanger, although it is a big, it is a hanger of speaks. So that is Nine-Tailed, and that is it. That is everything for the currently watching episode, apart from everything that I completed in August. So these are the dramas that I completed for August. The first one being Eternal Love of Dream. So this was a drama, a xiaoqia, that I reviewed with Jess and Caitlin over on the Dayback podcast. So if you want to hear my full thoughts, you can go there. I finally finished moving. I loved it. I ended up scoring it a 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know why I waited so long for it, but here we are. I finished up My Sweet Mobster. I thought it was okay. It's sweet. I liked the found family aspect of it. I feel like it could have probably been a little bit shorter for me personally, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Lost You Forever Season 2. It is what it is. I did not enjoy it nowhere near as much as Season 1. I felt like we were tail spinning with the characters, and they just weren't selling it to me as good as they were in Season 1. I don't know if it's because there was more angst and chemistry. I don't know, but Season 1 just worked better for me. So then I finished up the reality TV show Japanese The Boyfriend, and guys, I loved it. I love this so much. I feel like it's ridiculous that a reality TV show gave me better romance than 95% of the dramas I've watched this year. So I don't know what's happening, but if you don't mind BL, like The Boyfriend is a reality TV show where men who are looking for love kind of go and spend a month in a house and they all have to run a coffee truck together. It is very sweet. It is very heartwarming. It is beautiful. I loved every single moment of it. So that is The Boyfriend. And then I also finished up The Best Day of My Life, which I don't know, it was okay. It's a 14 episode Chinese drama, so it's fairly short. But overall, it was just okay for me. I ended up scoring it a 7.5. So that is everything I finished up. I will go into more depth and give a couple more details for all of these over on Patreon. So if you want the full thoughts, you can go on Patreon and listen over there. That will be posted either on the same day as this episode or like the Friday after this episode airs. So that is it, guys. That is my currently watching for August, and that is officially the wrap of season 3. We are done. So there will now be no more episodes until like October. I'm going on a little break. And, you know, I am going to take some of that time where I don't even think about the podcast for a little bit. And then I am going to be hard at work for season 3. I'm excited again. Doing the episode where I did like your stories really, really helped me to sort of remember why I love doing the podcast. And I had such wonderful feedback from that episode that it really did warm my heart. And it did remind me that I love doing this and I love talking to you guys. And I hope you enjoy listening as much as I enjoy, you know, getting your feedback and talking to you guys. I think season 3 is going to be a bit different than season 2, but in a good way. It's going to be shaken up a little bit. It'll definitely be more breaks in between. I won't be doing what I did this season because I just don't want to be burnt out like I did. I don't want to get to the point where I'm always almost losing the joy of doing it. So I'm very excited for what season 3 holds. I really, really am so thankful to every single one of you out there that listens to the podcast and, you know, comments and comes back and, you know, sends me a message or whatever it may be. So if you've got any ideas for season 3, or if there is a particular drama you would like to see in season 3, or a guest you would like to see in season 3, or just anything for season 3, now is your chance, because I will be through September, I will be planning season 3 out, and that's when I collect the most ideas to slot and to make sure it works with Tea and Soju as a whole. So if you've ever had a thought of, oh, you know, I really wish Tea and Soju did this, or I really wish Tea and Soju would cover this, now is definitely your time to send those messages in, and you can do it anyway. I mean, you can do it on Discord, you can do it on Instagram, Twitter, email. All of the episodes in the description notes always have all of my socials, and my DMs are open for absolutely everybody and anybody. So, like I said, if it is, you know, now is your time to do it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for season 2. I hope I always get worried that people like, I'm not going to come back when you take a break, and people are like, oh, you know, not going to come back and listen, but I'm sure that's not the case. I hope you come back for season 3, and I hope you're just as excited as I am for season 3, and I shall catch you next time. Bye.